Hi, I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've already been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you would know that the title of tonight's show is Money Troubles. And the reason why people can be having money troubles is because there are some indications of an imbalance, perhaps in your assets, or there can be a need to make more money. In other words, you could be looking around for a different job, or you may be concerned with your long-term security. And that is just fine. In other words, if people have money troubles right now, they also are going to have the ability to solve them in one way or another. So that's good. The reason why there is an emphasis on practical reality right now is because there are 5 planets in the Earth signs. And the Earth signs do deal really well in reality, and in fact, they're rather hardworking and very good problem solvers. So the Sun and Mars and Mercury are all in Taurus, which is the sign that traditionally rules the second house of how you make your money and what you spend your money on. So Taurus rules investments, and it rules the countries of Germany and of Israel, as well as the New York Stock Exchange. And so with the Sun in Taurus, it simply means there can be a lot of light on money, not only how you make it, but what you're spending it on. And with Mars there in a sign ruled by Venus, it simply means that there can be a little bit of instability. There certainly could be some greed going on, or there could even be people that sort of want to push real hard and make war or be very, very contentious because of money problems. And Mercury is also in Taurus, but it is at the fateful 29th degree, which in Taurus is actually where there is a blind star. So somebody could have been talking about some sort of financial situation, and they could have been blind, or they could have been very misleading about it. And so there is that possibility. Those 3 planets in Taurus, though, are trining the moon today at 29 degrees of Virgo. And so the moon is in the last degree, and it is exactly trining Mercury, which is the ruler of Virgo. And so somebody who's very good at details and at problem solving may be able to come up with a solution to people's money troubles right now, and that would be wonderful. And then those 4 planets are trining a 5th planet in an Earth sign, Pluto, which is retrograde in Capricorn. Since Pluto rules powerful people in management in large corporations or government agencies when it's in Capricorn, and because it's retrograde, it simply means that people who are leaders or who make policy are reconsidering things right now. They could be asking for a re-examination of facts. And that is because Virgo rules facts, and that Pluto is trining the moon in Virgo right now. As they re-examine facts, or more of them come to light right now, they could be deciding to change policy. And that could result in some sort of money troubles. And so there can be some sort of urgent need right now to get problems solved. And that is because of the high cost of living. So the real question that we all have to ask ourselves right now is, can you afford your lifestyle? And it isn't just you or me that can be asking that question. It is governments that are asking that question, and large corporations. Can they afford the lifestyle that they have been leading? Or can they afford the high cost of doing business? Because it seems as if the costs of business go up, or the prices of things go up, but our wages don't. And that is why people can be having money problems, because as costs goes up and wages stay the same, it's a little bit harder to afford your lifestyle, isn't it? And that's not good. Okay, there's also another reason why we can be having money problems, and it's a hidden one almost. What could that be? Well, there is actually a grand cross in the mutable signs right now, today. And that's too bad, because the mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, are all very adaptable. They can see someone else's point of view. They're good listeners. They can be considerate of another person's opinion, and they can adapt or change in ways that are rather moderate, but that are agreeable. So it's too bad that every single mutable sign has a planet in it, and those planets are forming what we call a grand cross. So Venus in Gemini, which is a mutable sign denoting a love of change and easy and smooth transitions and good communication right now, that Venus is under duress because it is being squared by the moon today in Virgo, which is another mutable sign, and it is also being squared by Neptune in Pisces, which can indicate some element of deception or omission. In other words, things that people are leaving out. There's even the possibility of a cover-up, and so that could be going on. And that Venus in Gemini is being strongly opposed by Saturn in Sagittarius, which is retrograde right now, indicating the possibility of a betrayal. And it can also indicate that some staunch support is withdrawing, or there can be doubt about people's qualifications right now. So unfortunately, with this grand cross in mutable signs, it means that moderate voices are not being heard. In fact, they're being ignored. And that is why there can be some money problems right now, as well as other problems. And that is because if there is some sort of betrayal right now, either among a government or a large corporation or just people in business dealings right now, it can be based on deception, or it can be based on somebody fudging the facts. And if they've been fudging the facts, that simply means that with this grand cross, which is a very harsh aspect, that a cover-up cannot hold right now. Even though it looks as if there could be some bright new beginning, if it is based on fudging the facts or covering anything up, then the cover-up certainly won't hold. And one reason is because moderate voices, which are usually pretty agreeable, are being ignored right now. And so there are different reasons for money troubles, but with a very strong grand trine in earth signs, and then another grand trine not quite so strong in fire signs, people can take action. But I would say that this is a time when the heavy hitters, or the people that are really determined to work hard and solve problems, are going to have their way. And if you want to argue about money, this is not the week to do it, because people are going to be fearful, or they're going to be very, very adamant with Mars in Taurus. So you have to be careful about that and not get in a standoff. All right, what does this idea of money troubles mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, I think you could be looking at money problems, but it could be because you are looking at something that's a little bit high-priced or expensive. And I think that you could get extra financing for that right now, Aries, because Mars and Pluto are trining each other. It's just that with all those planets in Taurus right ahead of your sun sign, and with Neptune in Pisces right behind your sun sign, if there has been any fudging of the facts that you've done, or if you've tried to cover something up, that is not going to be possible anymore, and that could be what's causing some sort of money troubles. And so, you know, the facts will come to light, particularly since people who are have a little bit more money or who are heavily invested in something are going to ask for a re-examination of facts. And when they do, people in positions of power that can make policy can change their minds right now, since Pluto is retrograde, and that Pluto is squaring Uranus in your own sun sign, Aries. So if there is a change in policy or there is a change in management, I don't think that that will favor you, Aries. But if all you're worried about is how to afford something a little bit pricey, then I think that you're going to have to be very above board and honest about whatever information you put down as far as seeking financing goes. Don't fudge now, Aries, because you would be caught. So I think that there is the possibility of some sort of change coming up in your life, but it might be because you just want to make more money right now, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, the strength is definitely in your sign, Taurus, and it is being backed up by other planets in Earth signs. And so what we see is that the Sun, Mars, and Mercury in your own sign are being trined beautifully by the Moon in Virgo today, and also by Pluto in Capricorn. So it is you, Taurus, that is super serious about any kind of financial dealings right now. You could be deciding that you do want to work harder, or you want to raise, or you want to provide well for your family, and you are not going to take any kind of compromise situation right now. You're probably really going to go for whatever you want, or you may be asking for a re-examination of facts right now if you suspect that somebody has been fudging or there has been some sort of deception or cover-up. It really won't hold. And that's good because, you know, you can't do business with people that aren't honest, because then you could be sort of betting the farm on facts that are not true, and you don't want to do that. So you are in the mood to set things straight, or set the record straight. And when that occurs, I think that you are going to be in favor of a change of management or of a change in policy. And that is because, you know, people have to be all on the same page, particularly as far as money goes, if they want to make more money. And that is why I think that you are really going to be somewhat strict about terms in any kind of investment right now in order to make sure everything is on the up and up. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, this is a time when, yes, you can be very, very charming. You can want to be sort of relaxed. You can want other people to sort of take it easy right now because Venus is in your sign. But that isn't possible because nobody's listening, Gemini. And that is because Venus in your sign is being squared by Neptune in Pisces, which means people are leaving a lot out right now and not telling you the whole truth. And it's also being squared by the Moon in Virgo, which means that somebody wants to talk logically about facts and details right now in a business-like way, and you just want to be sort of conceptual and charming and just easygoing right now. So that cannot be meeting with success. And also Saturn in Sagittarius is opposing Venus in your sign, and that is a strong indication of some sort of betrayal somewhere in your life, Gemini. So you need to really face the future and focus on that rather than on a current situation that is not working out, because a lot of people are ignoring each other right now, and they're ignoring you. And you have the best intentions with Venus in your sign, but just nobody's listening right now. And that is why you just need to focus on your future and try not to get involved in other people's situations right now. They aren't really going to work out too well because nobody is being too moderate or adaptable. And without that, people can't compromise. And so I think you need to just stick to what you really love doing and try to tune a lot of other people out right now, Gemini. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, there are a lot of planets coming right up behind your sun sign, and that is because Venus is in Gemini right behind your sun sign, and right behind that are the Sun, Mars, and Mercury, and behind them is Uranus in Aries. And so you are about to be very, very busy. Probably this summer is when you're going to be very busy, Cancer. And this is a time with Jupiter in Leo right ahead of your sun sign when you can be wanting to spend money. It wouldn't be necessarily on a new beginning unless you were thinking of moving, which you might be, or trying to change something in your neighborhood or with your pals and your friends. You may be taking in a boarder or somebody who, or you could be renting out a space right now, and that would make more money. That would be great. It might solve some of your high expenses. Or it can be that you're deciding to buy and sell. And if you're doing that, you're probably doing it in the background of your life. And that is very well favored right now, Cancer, because Venus is in Gemini, which rules buying and selling, and it's right behind your sun sign. So if you work somewhere quietly in the background in your life about some sort of a move or a change, even if it just represents some sort of transition, I think that it could work out rather well for you, Cancer. But if you get extravagant right now, if you want to spend a lot of money, well, maybe you could. But the problem is that there are money troubles that even if you're not having them, other people are. And with Pluto so strong right now in Capricorn, because it's part of the grand trine in earth signs and it is opposing your sun sign, I would say that if there is a change in management or a change in policy right now, it will not favor you, Cancer. And so you really need to work behind the scenes on what makes you happy. And you can be successful at that as long as you sort of set more short-term goals. And so I think if you're contemplating a change, this is a very good time to work on that, because I think that you'll be successful, even if it's just one small step at a time. You would be going in the right direction. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, the problem right now with all of the strength in the earth signs is that the strongest planets are in Taurus. And so the sun, Mars and Mercury in Taurus are all squaring Jupiter in your sun sign. And they are a powerhouse right now because they are so predominant, so strong. And that simply can indicate, Leo, that you might have money problems. And it can be because, remember, the question that we all need to ask ourselves is, can we afford our lifestyles? And in view of the fact that prices are going up and wages aren't, some people can't afford their lifestyles anymore. If you've been extravagant at all, Leo, it might be you that has to sort of pull in your belt right now. Or there is the possibility that you could take on some additional part-time work. Venus in Gemini is sextiling your sun. That would work out really well. Or it can be that you can try to sort of shrink your budget a little bit right now by cutting back on any unnecessary expense. That's a moderate thing to do, and you can do that. The reason why I suggest that you sort of cut your budget to the bone right now and not spend money, Leo, is because soon, in June, Saturn will come back into Scorpio and it too will be squaring your sun. And that is when an old tax matter or an old loan matter could come back to haunt you, Leo. And that is why if you sort of pull in your belt right now and you don't spend any extra money, you would at least have a little extra for this summer when you may be facing additional costs or certainly higher costs of credit or debt. So it is better to be frugal right now, Leo, if you can be. And believe it or not, that could make some money problems just sort of disappear, which would be good. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, I think that you're sitting exactly in the right spot. And that is because of this grand trine in earth signs, which is so powerful right now. So the Mercury, your own ruler, along with Mars and the Sun in Taurus, are trining your sun sign, Virgo. And Mercury in particular at 29 degrees of Taurus is trining the moon today in your sign, also at 29 degrees. That is a very harmonious aspect. That simply means that you might get some good news about an investment, and it can be that the price is going up. Well, then the taxes might go up too, or the cost of maintaining it might go up, or it can be that you get a very nice offer from someone else to buy an investment of yours, and you really should consider it. There's also the possibility that people can be asking you to re-examine a budget or the facts right now, and you would be very good, since you're good with details and problem solving, at coming up with ways to perform lean management. In other words, to streamline something and maybe cut costs but not sacrifice high standards. So your advice would be well taken right now, Virgo, which is wonderful. And Pluto in Capricorn is trining your sun as well, but it is retrograde, meaning that if there is a change in management, which there might be, or a change in policy, once the dust settles, I think that that will favor you as well, Virgo. So that's why I think you're exactly in the right place to be of assistance to others and to help them out. Even if you have to go back and re-examine things, it would be quite helpful right now. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, This is simply a time when somebody very charming could be attracted to you because Venus, your own ruler, is in Gemini, trining your sun. And that's wonderful. But the emphasis, remember, is in the earth signs. And that simply means that everybody's got to get real practical about money troubles, because the question is, and particularly that you have to ask, Libra, is can you afford your lifestyle? Well, you might have to take on an extra job if you want to live high right now. Or it might be that you can buy and sell something and it would turn out to be good because that would put a little extra cash in your pocket, and you might think about that. This would be a good time for you to do that, Libra, because there is the possibility that somebody can be on their way, in other words, rebelling or going into some new job of their own and perhaps leaving you behind. You may not mind that at all. They could have the best intentions, but at the same time, you may have to piecemeal a few things together right now, Libra, in order to maintain your lifestyle, because the other choice is that you're going to have to cut down your lifestyle or else get some other job or buy or sell something. So you do have options, Libra, but I think you have to exercise them right now, because you could be looking at money problems if you don't. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is a time when you really need to stay out of all discussions about money, because those three planets in Taurus, the Sun, Mars, and Mercury, are strongly opposing your sun sign. And that simply means that if somebody is trying to drive a hard bargain right now, they are not going to stop till they get what they want. Well, if you do not want to get involved in that, then you need to withdraw, Scorpio, and follow your own dream. Neptune in Pisces is trining your sun. And you may not need to borrow money right now. You may not have the tax problems or the financial problems that other people have. And for that reason, this is a very good time for you not to ask for anything. In other words, don't ask for a raise, and don't try to negotiate some great big deal right now that might have to be financed. And that is because somebody else is going to charge you too much, or they are just going to perhaps be involved in some sort of deception right now or swindle, and you should stay out of it, Scorpio, because I think you're doing just fine on your own. And that is because Pluto, your ruler, is sextiling your sun, and it is very strongly fortified right now, and there is an indication that when there is a change in management or a change in policy, it will benefit you, particularly if you sort of keep quiet right now. You don't need to talk to anybody else about money. I think that you're doing okay just on your own, so be real quiet this week. All right, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, remember I said, unfortunately, there is a grand cross in mutable signs. Well, yours is a mutable sign, and yes, it's being trined by Uranus in Aries and also by Jupiter in Leo, so you do have some support, Sagittarius. But actually, not a lot of people are listening to you right now. They're not listening to any of the mutable signs, which are moderate and adaptable right now. So stronger forces prevail right now, Sagittarius, and that might be all right, because you might have doubts about somebody. It might be that you're deciding to betray somebody else and go your own way, and that might be a good choice for you, Sagittarius. Or if you've been fudging the facts at all, remember Neptune is squaring your sun, that sort of cover-up is not going to hold for very much longer, and you could be found out. So I think you can be disappointed in the way things are going in your life right now, but you do have some strong support around you. So it's not like you're really going to falter. It's just that I don't think you can be heard right now, because nobody's interested in a moderate viewpoint, which is what you've got. So I think that you're going to have to go through a period when other people are ignoring you a little bit, and when you can't quite get ahead as much as you'd like to right now. But be patient, because you still have support. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a wonderful time for you, because I think you are being strongly backed up by people with money. Remember, the sun is in Taurus. It is trining the moon in Virgo, and together the lights are trining your sun sign, Capricorn, where you have Pluto. But because Pluto is retrograde, you can be revising your own policies or your own plans, and you, just like everybody else, can be asking if you can afford your lifestyle. Well, I really think you can afford your lifestyle, Capricorn, because your sign is very security prone. So this is an excellent time for you to review your investments. If something is costing you too much, I'd sell it if I were you, because you don't want your costs going up right now. And also, if there has to be a re-examination of facts, there could be some facts coming to light that will really help you, Capricorn. So do go over your budget again and the small print in any kind of agreement, because that could be beneficial to you. And if you have to change your mind right now, that is all right. It will help others as well as yourself. It won't hurt you at all. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is a time, remember, when you absolutely cannot get in a fight about money at all. And that is because the 3 planets in Taurus, including Mars, are squaring your sun sign, and Jupiter in Leo is opposing your sun sign. So I think you do have money problems, Aquarius. And it can be that it is because somebody else is driving a hard bargain, or somebody doesn't like the terms in a deal, and they may want to be very contentious right now. And unfortunately, if you enter into any kind of argument, you are going to be the big loser, Aquarius. And so what you need to do is back away a little bit, because you know you can't count on things staying the same. Pluto is right behind your sun sign, and Pluto is retrograde but well fortified, meaning there can be a change in management or a change in policy, and that is going to cause a change in your life as well, Aquarius. And can you afford it? So you really can't afford to fight about money, but you might have to take on an extra part-time job, or you might have to think about pulling in your belt and shrinking your budget a little bit right now, which you could probably do. And so try to be gracious this week and really don't get into any talks about money, Aquarius, because you won't win them at all. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, there is the possibility, since yours is a mutable sign caught up in a grand cross, that people can be ignoring you right now. You certainly could have the best intentions. Yours is a very charitable sign and a creative sign. But if you have been fudging the facts, if there's been any deception that you have been involved in, a cover-up will not hold. And so you could be threatening a bright new beginning if you have not been telling the whole truth about something. On the other hand, if you have been sort of on the up and up, that's wonderful, but still nobody's listening to you right now, Pisces. So if I were you, I'd keep your wonderful vision, particularly your creative vision right now, and particularly if it has something to do with healing, hold on to that, Pisces, because when Saturn comes into Scorpio in June and trines your sun, you're going to be on really solid ground. So you just have to have faith and believe in yourself right now, Pisces, because even if nobody else is listening, you know what you want to do, so why don't you stick to it? All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show anytime you want by subscribing to it on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.